Sexy People Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Frigolette. This is a bonus episode of the podcast. I'm joined by Silvia Saige. This episode needs a little bit of explaining. Back in February, I had a birthday. I was going and having some birthday sex. I came out to my car that was parked in the street somewhere in New Jersey and found that someone had stolen my license plates, which you cannot drive without your license plates, and written me a handwritten note that said, if you want your license plates back, please call this number. I eventually did get those plates back, but in the meantime, I posted that note on social media, and some of my friends and colleagues and confidants helped me out and also called this lady and harangued her. Anyway, they hassled this lady, and some wonderful things came out of it. This episode is me talking to Silvia Saige, who came to my defense.
Hello.
And called this lady. What happened in those phone calls happens now on this episode of Sexy People Podcast. Thank you for being here.
I have no sound from you. Oh,
I got you.
hey. Look at that little cat.
Ooh, and my cat. Yes, you're so loud.
Look at that little white cat. I fucked up. I should make this so that I can look at you, but I don't have that. I have the camera.
Just at your ear.
But I
So
want to look at you. Well, I'm gonna do that. Yeah. So like I've been doing ones where I've been doing like these more heady podcast things. So I don't need to see the person. It's better if I don't.
It's better. Okay. Well.
So what happened? Well, okay, wait. So I called her and she was like, "That's my spot. You can't park there.
Right.
I got kids."
What? Like, I love how that matters. I love how that matters.
Yeah. I was going to get milk for my baby. Like, yeah. This is not a conspiracy against you.
Yeah. Right. No one's searching out just your parking space. No.
Yeah.
So I called probably 4 times.
I'm so happy.
Called from 2 different numbers.
You were so devoted to this. And hers is not a real number either. It's a Google number.
Yeah, it is a Google number, but she called me back. So she called me back, and I knew the number, obviously, because I've called it, a couple times. And I said, hello, super soft. And she said, hello. And she said, who is this? And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I was just calling about license plates. And she said, what? And I said, I'm calling about license plates. You steal license plates? So she says, I gave them back. And I was like, but ma'am, that's not the point. And she was like, well, you parked in my spot. And I was like, well, it's not your spot though. Cause all I know is what you have said. So I was like, it's not your spot though. I was like, it's just street parking.
It's just the road.
Like that's not how that works. And she was like, you didn't shovel it. And then she got to the point where, cause I was, trying to like explain like laws to her and how that works and how even if she would have towed the vehicle, it would have been illegal and she would have gone to jail and blah, blah, blah. But all at that point, she kept screaming is, you didn't shovel it. You didn't shovel it. You didn't shovel it. And I was like,
that's a fair point.
This is where this conversation is going.
So you live in LA.
Yeah.
But you're from the Midwest. So there's a thing that happens in Boston. No, Chicago.
But I'm from Kansas City. So we have plenty of shoveling snow stories.
But you have houses most of the time.
Right, houses. Yeah.
So in Chicago, there's a thing where I found this out with the internet, where if you shovel it out, then you like put your table or you put like chairs in it, and that's your spot because you shoveled it.
That could be illegally binding.
No, for sure. You could be a dick and you could take their table. You could park through their table if you wanted to. Right. But then we don't have that here. But yeah, so it was like all the karmic things that I was like, oh, I just shouldn't come back to this house because it was already.
Oh, was it already a weird scenario for you?
Yeah. So it was like 2 days ago was my birthday, and
happy birthday! By
thank
the
you.
way.
The person I'm hanging out with who. Their entire story on Instagram is like talking about like trying to get over toxic dudes. And it's like, dude, that's not about me. Like I'm doing all the right things. So you're like still in whatever you're in. Like you're still like worried about whatever.
Right.
So I've just been like trying to ignore that because it's a low stakes thing anyway.
It is.
But so she was like trying to hint that we would do something for my birthday. Okay. But then on my birthday, at like 1, I woke up at 1 because it's my birthday. I was up to like 5 a.m. And so I was like, hey, she's like, oh, hey, I took the day off.
anyone do until 5 a.m.? I have no idea. Unless it's a lot of drugs. That's the only
I don't
thing.
do any drugs. No. No, so I have every intention like I'm gonna go to sleep at the right time, and then at like somewhere between like 1:30 and like
Insomnia?
no, I sleep great. Somewhere between 1:30 and like 2:30, some great idea happens, and then I'm researching or doing whatever. Those are my hours.
No way.
So she's like, I took the day off. So now she's putting it on me. I took the day off. I thought we could get lunch. Great, you could have told me that, I guess. She lives 35 minutes away, and every time I have to go there, it's like into an hour and a half of traffic. And I've been trying to get her to come to me for a while, and she's not coming to me. So she was like, she's like, you know, I did this thing at the apartment. Like, can you come here? And I was like, well, just come here. And she's not going to do that. So basically, I had to like put my foot down. I was like, I'm not doing work on my birthday.
Right.
If you want to see me, you can do that. If not, let's just do it tomorrow. So tomorrow was yesterday. And yeah, and it just wasn't good. And then it was like, just like the last 3 times I've gone there has been like not good energy. And I was like, I just don't know why I'm here.
Obviously.
And then I come out, there's no license plates. Like it puts another thing. That's so funny that she's like still trying to justify who she is.
Also, why didn't you call the police?
I did. I did. So they showed up. I had places to be also though. So they showed up like 35 minutes. Like I'm already gone, and they call me, and then that's what also pissed me off. Was I was like, hey, I couldn't wait around. I don't know if you guys were coming. I don't know. I got the license plates back, and they're like, so you have the license plates? And I was like, yeah, but the lady lives at 907, whatever. And they were just like, you got the license plates? And I was like, yeah. And then they hung up on me. And it's like, that's not the end of it. I want you to go take this lady's baby away. That's like.
Right, something.
Like, I want to take the baby and then put a note on the door, like, if you want your baby back, call me at 917. Because it's not. Yeah, because I called her 3 times, she didn't pick up, and I was like, yo, so I texted, what's good? Because I already know I was in some hood shit, so I was like, let me at least use hood language. So I said, what's good? And then I sent, you got 5 minutes or the cops are involved. Because it's like, I gotta go. I don't have time. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this game is. I called the girl because she's already dealing with X drama. I can tell from her Instagram. So I was like, yo, is somebody playing games with me? And it wasn't a no. Like, it wasn't like an immediate no. It was like, what's the number? Like, that's what it was. And I was like, oh. But this lady doesn't know this other lady. So, yeah. So then when she finally did call me back, she's acting like I'm.
Like the problem.
I'm out to get her. Yeah. And then she hands me the stuff. She did say sorry. She said the word sorry. She didn't do the sorry things.
I don't care where I had to be, that would have changed plans. And then I would have been like, I'm going to fucking wait until the police get here. And I'm fucking.
Yeah. So I had a whole other petty separate thing happening.
What you can do, but like, I'd be like, I would take something like that to the next level because I go a little bit psychotic myself. So.
I could have done that.
I'm always like, you want to fuck with me? I feel like the little China man in the back of the car.
Yeah, if it was a dude, I think if
I'm out swinging, like I might be little, but I will fuck your shit up.
Yeah, if it was so I have many thoughts. Number one is like, now I know where you park all the time.
Right. I said that too. I was like, it was in front of your house, ma'am. Like
I know where you're at.
Right. Like, you're not like a hidden creature. Because she was like, well, this isn't even a phone number. This is an app. And I was like, okay, it was in front of your house, sweetheart.
Right. And then she said something dumb. The thing I didn't include in the video, she said something dumb. She was like, I went banging on all the doors in the building. Like she was like trying to tell me that like I wasn't like where I was. I was at the building next door, but like she's trying to tell me I wasn't even where I was.
Right.
I was like, I don't live here. I'm just hanging out. I think the birthday thing clinched it for her. I think when I told her it was my birthday, that's the equivalent. Like having a birthday and having a baby are equal level.
Right. Yeah. I've actually told people I make up a child all of the time.
Sure.
Like,
so you get where she's coming from. She came down. By the way, she came down with the baby. So she had baby, and then license plates and the thing, and so she like made it like it was more than it needed to be with the license plates.
The baby. There's no reason she had to bring the baby, but I mean, good on her. She actually had one. I just make one up all the time. So.
Yeah, I should.
For delivery drivers who don't want to come up to my apartment, they just want me to meet them downstairs. I'm like, I have a baby.
I have a baby.
Just sleeping.
There's a baby here. I can't just leave this baby in this house. Yeah, what am I going to do with this baby? What was the other thing? So it was just. Yeah. No, I would have stayed. But I was in the middle of another petty thing. So I broke up with somebody like a month ago, and they were like pretending like
they should keep some of my stuff.
Oh,
and they were making it impossible for me to get my stuff. So finally,
they always give stuff. I don't.
it's so annoying. So then finally, like, the guy, the person who's the middleman on this deal that's supposed to give me my stuff, went from being late to being like, yo, my girl's waiting for me. So I was like, yo, somebody just stole my license plates. Give me like 10 more minutes. And he was like, yo, my girl's waiting for me. It's like, yo, you changed the time 3 times. I just don't understand everybody's attitude all the time. It's like time didn't matter.
Yeah.
When it was about what time you were leaving work, and now all of a sudden it's like I'm screwing up your whole day. Well, how long? I don't know, man. Some crazy lady took my license plates.
What a fucking shit day that was for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like yeah, so the girl I'm hanging out with, so I get no booty, and the girl I'm hanging out with is like in a fight with her baby daddy.
Yuck.
Yeah.
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 What a gross time, man. It's like a fucking
and the day before, I had my camera on a tripod, and I had this mattress sucked into like a bag. It was like a what do they call it? Memory foam mattress sucked into a bag, and then the bag had a hole in it, so it was like slowly getting bigger. So it fell over, knocked over my camera, and broke my $1,000 lens. So it's been a fun week. Yeah, it's been a dope week. Yeah,
no.
it's a weird karmic. It's a weird karmic week.
You need to cleanse. You need to do like a masturbation meditation session where you just like sleep for. I like to do reset days.
Okay.
Where I don't answer my phone. I don't get on social media, and I just masturbate and I sleep a lot, and then I meditate, and then I just feel better the next day.
I'm not masturbating.
No, but you're not.
I've had like banner days recently.
Well, that's just quarantine, I feel like, but
it hadn't been, but I think I probably hit 7 the other day.
In one day? That's
and I take my time. I'm not just trying to get. What's that?
You come each time?
Yes, of course. I'm not just trying to get the milk. I like take my time. I find the right circumstances.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who takes their time in masturbating? That's weird.
That's how I do it.
I don't do. I mean, I guess I can have 7 in a row though. So I guess that's for me.
I can't do
That's
that.
me if I'm taking time for myself, and I'm like,
Right.
well, I guess you just keep having orgasms. And
I may as well. Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't.
No,
do
not for me. I'm just like I don't know. I'm a quickie person, but it gets into my head. Like if I know when I start to get too angry or too like carried away by a certain subject, I'm like, I need to come really quick because I'm just angry at things.
Mine is stress.
Ooh,
So like, did you see this? Jon Stewart was looking for writers the other day.
No.
It was like you said, do 1 page of monologue jokes. So like, whenever I would get to the next joke that I didn't know how to write, I would go rip one.
And that helps, right?
Well, whether it does or doesn't, it doesn't make me write the joke any better, but it solves the immediate thing. Yeah.
You know, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. No, this girl was, it was very hood. And then now people are writing hood shit in my thing. So I like that people are actually like care enough to like call this lady. But now people are writing hood shit in my.
I wonder how many people have called her.
Well, this is how I feel. Like also like I'm like not a snitch at all, because like as soon as
she wants to put her phone number up.
But as soon as I saw all the messages, I was like, oh fuck! Like I felt like there was gonna be consequences on me. Like for a second.
What could she possibly do though?
I don't know. Like I'm not gonna bring that van by there anymore, so I'm good. But
don't do that.
Yeah. But
she's definitely gonna have her uncle or she goes, I was being nice by not towing it. And I was like, that's not even slightly the truth.
Yeah, I couldn't explain to her because it was like then I'm in a fight that the bounds are stupid. So I was like, well, you couldn't have towed this car anyway because I have a handicap sticker. You can't tow a handicap car. I just found this law out. You can't do it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you can't. So she was like, and
Uncle John was gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, so she's like, I got an uncle, and I was like, I'm not gonna argue the sub points of this discussion.
I know. Yeah.
Where are my license plates?
Yeah, I got to the point of not arguing with her either, only because she just kept screaming at me. But
and for how close she was, it just didn't make sense that she like didn't. She didn't bring him back for like 10 minutes after we had the discussion.
Oh my God.
After she was also like, okay, no problem. Like that was the end. And I was like, I'm sorry if I offended you. That's my new. I'm sorry if I offended you. And
Actually, I say when I want somebody to be more mad, I say something like, I'm sorry that your day is going so poorly, or like I'm sorry that like something like that. I'm sorry that you're having a rough time right now, and then they get really upset. I'm not having a bad day. Ah. Yeah. No,
People
but I'm like a magnet for conflict. I don't know
now. I feel like people are super touchy just because, it's the whole like.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a quarantine baby.
And
that's not a great building.
Ooh, I can't. Yeah, I can only imagine how rough things actually are for her in her real life. So
yeah, right. Like, well, that's the thing is like this is what it's come down to for her.
Yeah, that's true.
Like this is like her last straw.
Yeah, something broke her back for sure. Maybe it was that quarantine.
It was the snow. You didn't shovel that spot. What do you know?
Yeah, I was actually like I said, I was supposed to be there this week, but I saw what was about to happen to you guys, and I was like, I'm not trying to get stuck. The worst thing I could think of is the hotel I already stay at is a super old hotel. So it's already pretty fucking drafty. Like last time I stayed there, I had to have them bring me a space heater just because they were like, oh, well, the heat is on, but we just don't turn it up past a certain point. And I'm like, okay, well, my room is 60 degrees. So I'm like, that's with heat on. I don't even want to think about with like it being a blizzard there and like
or God forbid the power goes out. Yeah,
I was gonna say
Hoboken lost power the next block. I got so lucky. It was the next block for like 4 hours the one night, the cold night, the ice night.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Do you have a fireplace?
I do not have anything that could make heat happen. I would just be blanketed with the puppy. We'd be fine, but it wouldn't be it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, no.
It would be fine.
Yeah, that sucks. Obviously, I'm living in LA. I don't really have to worry about a winter storm knocking anything out. I don't know. Texas never have to worry about that either. So
yeah, you won't have to until you have to, and then you'll find out that your city is not at all equipped.
I think my city is going to end up just floating out to sea, and that's what I'll have to worry about. But
isn't there a thing there where when it rains too much, the sewage goes into the bay? Is that LA?
Oh, I don't think that's here. The bay is like up north. Like
maybe bay is not the word that I'm looking for. But it was like Jim Gaffigan and Jerry Seinfeld, they were talking about it. The city was built wrong. So when it rains too much, the sewage center overflows and it just goes into the. I mean, all water treatment plants have to be on water anyway.
Well, I don't swim in the ocean, so I'm not too concerned.
You don't what? You don't swim in the ocean? Yeah. They were talking about getting rid of the snow in Hoboken, and like you're not allowed to push it into the river anymore because it's like it's the salt and the pollution. It's like there's bodies in there. Like what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't understand the whole Northeast getting rid of the snow thing. It's like we're putting a machine that is burning fossil fuels, and we're just moving snow coldly.
I had never heard of this until you just mentioned it to me. So what is this? Wait,
they just plow. Well, here's the thing: is like okay, so like in any other situation, like snow would be the easiest thing to get rid of if you just applied heat, right? So like there should just be like a Dr. Seuss machine that sucks the snow in and just melts it, and you're good. But they don't have that. They just plow it. So they just push it and they just bury things with it. And they just take the snow. And then every year, every place in the Northeast is like, we don't know what to do with this snow. So they just make a big snow pile that never melts because of the accumulation of snow. So from a surface area standpoint, you can't, that much snow can't melt because it'll never get cold, like warm enough in the middle. So you just have 12 feet of snow forever. Wow. Yeah. So they're just like a plow should just be like a reverse Zamboni.
Yeah.
That's it. If I had any ability or concern to make a machine.
Yeah, but I think the worry there then is like you can only heat it for that instant that you're driving over it, and then as soon as that's gone, it's going to be frozen again. It's cold outside, right?
Maybe. Maybe you figured it out. Yeah, you're just making sheets of ice. Yeah, I guess you're right. Fuck you for being smart.
Sorry about that.
Ruined my thing. Do you know anything about TikTok? I got one video to go and I can't figure out why, and it sucks, and I can't get the rest of the videos to go.
About TikTok, I do watch some TikToks. You know who my favorite TikTok person is?
No.
Have you seen the lady who records her sleepwalking?
No, what? How do you record your sleepwalking? You just have it everywhere?
All in her house. And she knows, like, I was watching something the other day where she said she knows if she eats cheese or chocolate right before bed, that usually stimulates her sleepwalking.
Yeah.
But fucking hilarious. And she just like puts little notes in it the whole way, because it's like her basically just like screaming at things and eating things,
Really?
having conversations with things, and it's fucking amazing. She's my favorite.
Fun.
But I don't know anything about it. I'm awful with technology.
Do you sleepwalk? Have you ever sleepwalked?
No, I think I sleep talk. I have sleepwalked once as a kid, as a I don't even know, probably like 8-year-old. My parents said I got out of the house and I went and got my tricycle and I rode it down to my friend's house.
Wow.
And knocked on the door and asked if Cindy could play. And her dad like brought me inside and called my parents.
And woke you up.
Yeah.
Do you remember being woken up in that experience?
No, I was so little. Like I only have I don't have an actual memory. It's just a memory I've created from the story being told to me.
Yeah. Oh, I had that kind of thing with my mom the other day. My mom's been telling a story about me for years. Mm-hmm. And then my father told the story, same story, but it was about himself. And I was like, oh, what? So which of us is it, and which of us has has confused the parties?
Wait, what was the story?
Well, so we're both colorblind. So my mother told me that she got a call from the school psychologist. Is your son depressed? And she said, no. Why? He said he drew a dead tree. Because I used light brown colored pencil for the leaves, and I used dark brown for the bark. So I drew a dead tree and then whatever. But I remember drawing that tree. So now I don't know if my father's confused himself with it. Also, it almost doesn't make sense because, I don't think they didn't really have, they only had like 3 colors when my father was a child, right? It was just like blue, green, yellow, and you had to make brown on your own, I think, right? Isn't that how it worked? Red? They didn't give you brown. You had to figure it out.
Yeah, isn't that weird how memories work though? Like,
yeah, I started
memories also and like make them, I don't know, because you can listen to 2 people tell the same story and it's just not the same.
Yeah, well, I keep ending up in those fights as a balanced, empathetic, finally person. I'll be in a relationship, in a fight, and I go, we both can tell this story to outside parties, and we'll both be right.
Yeah.
And without even really changing the details that much.
Yeah.
It's just that perspective.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. I gotta do a heady podcast about, I think so. Let me know if you think this is a good idea. Me and my buddy started doing a podcast where we're just gonna unpack Dan, which is it's because all the other podcasts that I have, I'm hosting and I'm like juggling everything. I just wanted one where I could just be absurd and we just sort it out. But the first episode, I think we decided we hate men. So I think we're just gonna talk about why men are terrible as 2 men.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Isn't that
all right?
I can't decide if we can bring enough light to the subject, but I'm excited about the idea.
Okay.
Is it possible for men to be feminists, do you think?
Yes, and I absolutely know some. But I think it's just fair to hate people in general. Yeah,
but so it started with why am I upset about other people? Why am I not happy for people's success? And then halfway through, he was like, I think I hate men, and I was like, I think we hate men. And I realized I'm not mad when a woman friend of mine is making it. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess I'm happy for certain people when they make it. I'm happy when people who are nice to me make it, I guess.
Right.
Like when Punky made it to SNL, I was like, get it, girl, because she's always one of the nicest humans in the world to me, and I'm like, I fucking love her. But
she's still good to you?
Said person, huh?
Is she still good to you?
I haven't seen her since she moved to New York.
Yeah.
But I would assume she would be. I mean, she's always 100%.
Everyone I know that's made it
Yeah.
is like a dick immediately.
Oh,
Like change your number shitty.
yeah, I don't think she's gonna do that though. I mean, she'll still respond to like if I comment on something, she'll still respond to it, you know? So there's that.
I was at the Comedy Store. Somebody who used to come and beg me for spots in my room in Astoria. They got a Netflix thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're hosting in the main room and I'm in the shitty room. Or maybe they're hosting the belly room and I'm in the main room.
In the fucking Comedy Store, by the way.
They're what?
There are no shitty rooms in the Comedy Store, by the way.
Yeah, well, no, I'm like in the biggest room with the least amount of people. So it's like it was like that kind of night. It's like belly. I don't remember which room it's. Belly.
Original. There's the main stage, original room, and the belly room's upstairs.
Okay, so original room is rocking, and this person's hosting, and I'm in the other one. I'm just trying to. I don't know anybody. It's like my first time in LA, and I text, hey, I saw that you're hosting, whatever. I'm like around the corner, like I'm in the other room, whatever. Like let me know when you're off stage. Nothing ever. Like no response, ever. Like not even like 2 days later, like, oh hey, just saw this, whatever. Nothing ever responded ever again.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Maybe it's me.
That's no, it's not you. That's shitty. People are just shitty.
Yeah.
I mean, all in all, like it's so bad. I know you're you've been a single man for a long time. I've been single for 14 years and people are like, that's so crazy. I'm like, is it? Because I look at all of you in relationships and you look fucking miserable. You are all complaining nonstop. If you're not complaining, you're cheating or doing something shitty behind your back.
Nobody wants to be who they really are.
It's crazy to me. And I'm like, I am so happy with where I stand in life. Yeah. Like I love living alone. No one fucks with my shit when people are here.
Takes your license plates.
Right. I'm like, man, I just don't know. I don't know why everyone who's in these relationships thinks they got it figured out. I'm like, ooh.
I think it is funny when things aren't going right, that just that one final thing just can set you off, and like I was like standing there waiting for like because I'm late to this thing. I got to get my shit. Where I know the lady who's giving the person there's a middleman because this lady won't let me just go get my shit regular, even though there's no reason, and she's drawn it out for 6 weeks. So everybody's being shit, everybody's being petty in the world around me, and so like I'm like doing this like, well, I need to change everything about my life because this birthday thing sucked, and this license plate thing sucks, and this mediation like this person meeting me in a parking lot thing sucks, and the cops aren't even here for me. I gotta do it. Everything's got to start over. So,
yeah, you need a reset day.
Yeah, no. So I literally I'm clearing the roster.
Good.
I'm clearing the roster, and I'm not.
If you were out here, I would tell you to go hiking. That always.
Yeah, I miss it so much.
Thank you for listening. The rest of this episode gets a little personal between me and Silvia. If you want to subscribe to the Patreon, you will have access to the rest of this episode. Thank you for being here. This is the Sexy People Podcast. We will return to our regular format next week. Thank you for being here.